Hello and welcome to this recorded introduction to the upcoming live digital marketing workshop. And today's workshop is part of a series that is called How to Start Video Marketing. And the objective of this series is to help people exactly like you to get started with video marketing, get up and running and get using video as part of your wider digital marketing strategy. So my name is Elliot King. I am the CEO and co-founder of the international digital agency Mint Twist. You can find out more about us at minttwist.com. This video and this series of videos is being streamed to multiple channels across multiple platforms simultaneously. And we're doing this with some software that we've been using ever since we started live streaming, and it's called Restream. You can find out more about Restream at restream.io, and we are proudly co-producing this series of videos with them, so please do check them out. So without further ado, let's transition into the live stream and today's workshop. Okay. So today we are talking all about how to create a video marketing strategy, and this is actually part of a series of 5 videos that are on the topic of how to start video marketing. So the idea here is we're going to give you the key concepts that you need to be able to understand and those practical tips that you need to be able to employ to be able to essentially create your own video marketing series for your brand, organization or business. Okay, so many of you will be watching this on a replay. Some of you might be watching it live, but wherever and whenever you are watching this, please do drop into the comments. Let us know who you are, and if you fancy sharing where you're watching from, that would be nice. It's always great to hear and see where people are watching from. Okay, so what will we learn in today's episode? So first of all, we're going to have an introduction to video marketing. Then we're going to look at themes and topics and what sort of role these things play in strategy. Then we're going to be looking at the concept of episodic video and what exactly that means. We're going to look at video formats, and then finally we'll have a look at what a formula for a marketing video looks like. So first of all, why video? Why use video in our marketing? Well, there are 3 main reasons. The first is that it can boost the effectiveness of your organic search. So, the vast majority, virtually all organizations will have a website, a marketing website, some description. And if we're able to create video in and around that site, then we can very likely boost the number of visitors to that site. So that's what we mean when we say boost organic search. Video as a content format is more likely to be remembered than other formats, more likely to be remembered by our audience than the written word or even by images alone. And connected with this, it makes the format more engaging. If we get the content right, if we get the style right, our audience will engage with it. They're more likely to click on it. They're more likely to view it. They're more likely to comment, and that's great. That's what we want in marketing. We want to increase awareness, but we also want to increase engagement. And so the fact that it does these things, it increases awareness and reach and increases engagement. And not only does it do these things, but it works to support our marketing funnel. So at the top of the funnel, we get to reach more people, and at the middle of the funnel, we get to increase the number of touch points we have this with those people, which is what our marketing funnel is all about. We're more likely to bring customers within our into our sphere of influence at the so-called bottom of the funnel. So as in with most marketing content, it's all about the audience. So having a very good understanding of who they are and potentially grouping them into different groups is really important before we start thinking about a video marketing strategy. when we're talking about video, particularly marketing video, it's really important that the content is highly relevant. If you think about yourself, you're very unlikely to watch a video for very long unless it's genuinely interesting or relevant to you. So we've got to think about the things that our audience really genuinely care about, and then we might get the topics right. Why should they care about our particular content format? What is it? Is it some kind of personal relationship? Am I or are you known within your audience? And if you're not, you need to think about an angle that you can hook against your content in order to increase the likelihood that your target audience will actually view more of your videos. So let's talk about themes and topics. So when we think about a video marketing strategy, we've got to understand that there's going to be an overarching theme that's probably, definitely going to be related to our product or service or offering. It's certainly, if it's a marketing video, there's got to be some connection there clearly. But when we think about topics, we've got to resist the urge just to talk about the features or even just the benefits of our product and service. And we want to land our content topics on topics that are most relevant to our particular target audience. And then the trick with the creative storytelling is to learn how we can connect our topics with our theme, and then ultimately indirectly with our products and services. So the best way to think about topics, and there's many ways to do this, is just to think about your target customer, your ideal customer, if you like, and just think about the things that are going on in their lives beyond beyond the realm of your product or service or your theme. Just think generally initially at what's going on in their life. So if we think about a marketing manager, which might be a target customer type for a marketing agency, they will be thinking about their day job. So they'll be thinking about clients, they'll be thinking about campaigns, they'll be thinking about results. If they're a marketing manager, obviously the impact on digital in many industries is huge, not least marketing. So they'll be thinking about all of the digital stuff that they and their team need to absorb. There might be some industry events that are relevant to those marketing managers. If they're a manager, they might have a team underneath them, so they'll be thinking about their colleagues, about career development of your colleagues, how to manage those relationships with people working in your team and people more senior to you in an organization. They'll be thinking about careers, they'll be thinking about the macro environment. So you put out all of these topics down, all of these concepts that are relevant to your target customer group, and then you should be able to weave them into some form of series that is going to be connected to your theme. And that's the idea of how we create a series of episodic marketing videos. And so what is the benefit of creating a series of videos that are connected versus a one-off video? Well, the benefits are quite significant. First of all, it's strategic. It means we can build up a number of marketing messages on top of content that we know by design is going to be relevant and interesting to our audience, and moreover it's going to be connected, so we stand more of a chance of bringing audience members with us along a series. So that's why we say it's strategic. It, again, by definition, it allows you to be consistent. If you've created a series of videos, we can release them over a period of time, weekly or fortnightly or potentially even daily, and it allows us to create consistent touch points with those audiences, new and existing. And the reach of a series is more likely to be larger than the reach of an individual video, so it will create more awareness than a standalone video, all else being equal. And if we do it right, it creates more engagement because, as we said, we bring audience members with us, so they're more likely to touch a number of our videos rather than just the one. And by effectively creating and planning a series of videos, we should be able to bring down the cost per video significantly, which will also bring down the cost per reach, or cost per view, if you like, and the cost per engagement, and these things are important for marketers. We've got a certain amount of marketing budget. We want to spend it in the way that's going to be most effective ultimately for our brand or our organization. Let's talk briefly now about video formats. So there's a huge number of formats that we can go through. Just some of them are tutorial, live streaming, interview, product reviews, animated videos, testimonial videos, vlogs, demonstration videos, live events and webinars, presentations. We've got culture, behind the scenes, fly on the wall type videos, and there are many more. And of course, you can blend and mix all of these types of formats. So the point is, we want to pick the right format that's right for the theme and the topics and the audience, and obviously the channels that we're going to be reaching those audience on. And ultimately, once we've sort of decided on all of these things, then we just need to revisit our one-line value proposition. So what, in one sentence, is the reason why your audience members should watch your video? So a formula for a marketing video, if you think about the longer form videos, typical of videos that you might see on a platform like YouTube, they will typically run through the steps that we're seeing on these slides. So first of all, and by longer form video, by the way, we mean sort of 6 minutes or more, like in the video marketing world broadly, that we can refer to that as a longer form video. So the first part might be an introduction to the video specifically. The important thing here is we don't introduce ourselves, we don't introduce our brand, we introduce the video itself. So YouTube, taking YouTube as the default longer form digital video platform, YouTube strategy is all about getting the user to stay with you beyond the first 30 seconds and then stay with you thereafter. For most video channels, the users are dropping off in less than 30 seconds. And the main reason for that is most marketing videos still, even today, unfortunately, spend too much time at the front of the video talking about themselves or talking about their company or talking about their brand. If you're trying to attract particularly a new viewer to watch your video, you've got to tell them as soon as possible what is the value they are going to get from watching that particular video. Remember, we're talking about marketing videos here. We're not talking about a movie or an entertainment video of some description where people will be more likely to stay on, and they have an intuitive understanding that they're going to get value further on. If it's a marketing video, we've got to get to the value very quickly, and only after we've introduced the video would we introduce the series or the channel or the brand behind the channel. And then we would want to make that quite quick. And then we tell them, what we're going to tell them. This is the so-called, you're giving a top level view. This is what you're going to get in the video. And then you break down the key elements that the viewers are going to learn or the value that they're going to receive. If you are going to have a call to action, a CTA, then, you might have one early on in the video. The key thing with video here is to, if you are going to ask users to do something, try and make sure it's connected and something that's genuinely relevant to that video, as opposed to leave the video and go and buy something that's probably not going to work in a video. The middle of the video should be all about the value. This is the reason why users signed up in the first place. Then you will summarize by telling them what you've told them, so repeating the key elements that the viewer will have learned during the video. You might have a final call to action before having the outro. Short form video, so channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even Instagram, definitely. Video formats typically are much shorter, at least the effective ones, and so you would cut that right down. Short, sharp intro, main content in the middle, short, sharp outro. So production planning, just some things to think about. So where do we film? When are we going to film? How are we going to film? Who and what do we need? So a lot of these questions we're going to answer in part 2 of this series, and you can find a link to that video somewhere around here. But production planning is something we'll have to think about, as is an equipment check. So what equipment are we going to need? And the 3 main sort of things we need to think about are how we're going to capture the video, how we're going to capture the audio, and then the editing software that we're going to use thereafter. And then we've got to think about, the time it takes to plan an episode. Creating, marketing and editing video is notoriously time consuming. So, and time is money, as we all know. So the time it costs to plan an episode, the time it costs to film an episode, the time it costs to edit an episode. If we understand what's involved, we're more likely to create a plan that we can actually deliver on, as opposed to one that's undeliverable. And then the work really, once the video is produced and edited and it's ready to go, in some ways the work's only just started, because launching an episode and marketing an episode, if you put all of that time and effort and cost into creating video, then you want to make sure that you maximize the awareness and reach and engagement, and that needs marketing. So in summary, what have we learned? So we've learned why video marketing, the reasons why we should be considering it if we're not already doing it. How does it work? We spoke about strategy planning, the key elements of nailing down a theme, nailing down topics, and obviously understanding our audience, and then creating an appropriate series based on those topics with the right format that's going to be right for our audience and the platforms on which we're going to try to reach them. And then we talked about the formula for a marketing video. There's long form and there's short form, and obviously there's something in between. We need to pick the right formula for our particular videos and our particular series. And then we spoke briefly about production planning. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video. In the meantime, if we can help you, please do reach out to minttwist.com. We're delighted to answer questions, and that's free of charge. If you want to reach me, you can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter. My name's Elliot King with 2 L's and 2 T's.